But I want to thank you. Thank you for being who you are and how you've enriched my life and introduced me to your wife and your beautiful children and your mother and father. You are a sign to me that God is not through with me yet. I have more work to do. And I thank you with your presence and your consciousness of impacting me the way that you have. I appreciate you and I love you and I thank God for you being in my life. Thank you.
Hey guys, Al here, CEO of Les Brown Global. Now, as some of you may know, we just finished a large event in Los Angeles. What many of you probably don't realize is that we threw that event together in just 3 short weeks. And if you were in the room, you'd be aware that there was just under 600 people in that room. Now, that means that within those 3 weeks, they not only seen our advertisements, but we got them to realize that they should be at this event. They purchased their tickets, made their arrangements, made their flight, travel plans, whatnot, and came to the event. In addition to that, they made upsells, they made purchases at the event, and they invested more into themselves. Now, why am I telling you this? At the event, we had several of our platinum and our ambassador speakers speak at the event. These are speakers that we've trained, they know what they're doing, they've mastered their keynote, and we help them get going by bringing them to some of our events to get their name out there and start building that brand recognition. You know, it's been said that at first you get paid for what you say, or if you're in business, for what you do, the result you bring. But eventually you get paid for who you are, right? Mr. Brown gets paid $250,000 an hour internationally for who he is. But many of our ambassador speakers, or many speakers in general, not our own, but many of the speakers in general, when they're starting off, they're getting paid for the message they are bringing. They haven't yet built that brand, that identity, that demand to be able to say, hey, I want $10,000 an hour, $20,000 an hour, $100,000 an hour, whatever the price is. So at first they're getting paid for what they're saying. But later, through what I'm going to teach, they're going to get paid for just being who they are and who they've become in the marketplace. So what I want to do is we've decided to put together this little, we'll call it a crash course. It's a 6-week program where I'm going to work with you live through audio format, through video format, and we're going to go through the series of steps that we use internally to market our programs. Okay, so who is this for? Well, it's for anybody who owns a business. Now, whether you realize it or not, if you're a speaker, you own a business. You may not have gone out and registered your business yet. You might not have registered in your state or your province or whatnot. But if you are planning on building a career where you can essentially write your own paycheck in life, you own a business. Okay? Now, for many of you, you are not speakers. Perhaps you own a retail outlet. Maybe you own a confectionery store. Maybe you own a fitness studio, which I did for many, many years. Maybe you're a manufacturer and you manufacture widgets and you're trying to learn how to break into new markets. Maybe you're in the medical professional and you're trying to start your own practice. Regardless of what you are doing right now, if you are in business, any type of business, what can get you from where you are to where you want to go is marketing. The number one key difference between a business that is succeeding and one that is failing is marketing. Listen, many of you may not realize, but Uber, who's number one right now in the marketplace, was not number one. A lot of people think, well, just because Uber is the first one they heard of, that they must be the first to market, and that's why they're number one. But that is not true. There was actually many ride-sharing platforms before Uber. The difference? Uber understood their marketing. They knew who they were talking to. They knew their audience. They knew exactly the message they had to say to get those folks to say, yeah, I'll get in the car with a total stranger. They can take me somewhere, no big deal. I got this, right? It was all in the marketing. So what I want to do is I want to help many of you get to where you're getting paid for who you are, okay? And let me give you an example. A lot of you might be thinking, well, I just want to speak. I just want to build up, my personal brand, my presence, and I just want to go stage to stage to stage and speak. That, unfortunately, is short-term thinking. And here's why. The real money in the industry is made on the back end. It's made from the products, the services that you offer in addition or on the back end of your speaking. That is how you're able to build recurring income. So great, you might be getting paid $10,000 an hour to speak. And you might be landing 1, 2, 3 speeches or keynotes per month. And that's good money. But what happens if for whatever reason you were unable to speak? Maybe you got pneumonia, unfortunately, and you had to cancel a few gigs and you were unable to speak for a few weeks, a few months. What if for whatever reason the market got really, really crowded and demand dropped a little bit and you were just not landing as many gigs as you wanted? Or maybe the economy took a turn downwards and you're no longer getting those $10,000 an hour gigs. Maybe now you can only get $1,000 gigs. And yet you still have a mortgage, you still have car payments, you still have bills to pay, a family to support, and you've gone from that, maybe $10,000 a month in income to $1,000 a month, right? What happens then? Well, I'll tell you what happens. It's stressful. It makes waking up dreadful. You don't look forward to the next day. You're always stressed. Yeah, and there's a myriad of other things that happens when you're stressed. You start paying less attention to your health, your fitness, your nutrition. Unfortunately, you find yourself maybe exploding, misguided explosion towards your children, your spouse, and we all know the pressures that financial pressure brings, the other stresses that it takes in our lives. So what we want to do is through our marketing and the stuff that we build and the stuff that we build behind our speakers is in this 6-week course, I want to teach you, first of all, why it's important to understand marketing. And you might think, well, I'm just going to hire someone. I'm going to tell you something. I've owned a series of businesses throughout my life, and I've bought and sold several. And if there's one thing I can tell you without a doubt, it's that you should have your thumb on the pulse of your marketing, the marketing for your business at all times. Yes, you may hire someone to come up with a strategy with you and brainstorm. You may hire someone to help execute your marketing. You may help someone to create campaigns. You may hire someone to create campaigns. That is all true. But no matter what they are doing, you should understand it. You, as the CEO of your business or just yourself, you should know who your target audience is. Who are you going after? And what are you trying to tell them? What problem are you solving? What value are you adding into their lives? Okay, so for the speaking industry specifically, it's built with the back end. Now, a lot of folks have this idea that if they simply built a better mousetrap, people will beat a path to their door. Unfortunately, that's not so. There are countless mousetraps that are substantially better than the ones out there, but they're in someone's garage and they're just not being sold because nobody knows about them. Let me give you a contrasting example. What about, let's take Dr. Oz. Do you honestly believe that he is the best surgeon, heart surgeon, I believe is what he does, in the world? Odds are, statistically, probably not. But I could guarantee you this. He's the best paid. He's getting paid for who he is, not for what he does. Okay, and there's examples like this everywhere. What about Oprah? She may give the exact same speech as a fellow journalist, but she is going to get paid a heck of a lot more than that other journalist because she's getting paid for who she is, not what she's doing. So what we're going to do in these 6 weeks is we're going to spend an hour and a half, give or take, probably more. I tend to ramble on and go into more detail than maybe is necessary, but I like to over deliver. I like to add value. I like to give everything I've got, in hopes that you're able to apply it into your life. So what we're going to do in these 6 weeks is every week on Tuesday, and I've got the dates here. We're going to start February 12th. That should be a Tuesday, February 19th, February 26th, and then March 5th, March 12th, March 19th. I'll have all these dates written down for you. We're going to jump on a live Zoom call where I'm going to walk you through everything that we do and everything you should know to take your business to the next level. And I'm going to talk about things like how to write copy. Unfortunately, in this digital age with Facebook and social media and Messenger, where everything is short form, a lot of folks have lost or forgotten the value in writing to actually compel action. Okay? And I know a lot of people will say, well, we're trying to start conversations. We don't necessarily need to create or make action at this point. That's great. Regardless of what the goal is, good copy is where it starts. Case in point, you won't get your email opened if you don't know how to write copy. Now, many of you may not know how I got into the position I am running Les Brown's company. Let me give you a little story. I, for many, many years, ran a marketing firm. And one evening, as many of you do, I was working away at my computer while listening to motivational Les Brown YouTube videos in the background, which is a habit I had done for many, many years. And I've always found that it's great background music or noise or background sound while I'm working. So one day I'm listening to one of his tapes while working. And in it, he gives away his email. And I thought, hey, I'm going to take a shot. So I put together a quick email and I hit send. I go to bed. It was maybe 11 o'clock at night, thinking nothing of it. And more or less thinking it was a shot in the dark, nothing's going to happen of it. Well, the next morning I wake up, check my email, and guess who replied? The one and only Les Brown sent me an email back, and well, you know, I'll keep it short. The rest is history. But let me tell you something. Had I not taken the time to write a subject line that would get him to open the email, and an email that would compel him to actually respond to me, I would not be talking to you in this format right here, right now. So a lot of you are sending emails and you're wondering why you have no response. Maybe the subject line is just not compelling enough. You know, we get millions of messages a day. They used to say thousands or hundreds of thousands. I honestly believe it's millions. You can't drive down the road without seeing billboards, signs, just people spinning, you know, different kinds of signs and messages on the radio and stuff on your phone and stuff everywhere. There's messages everywhere. We are being bombarded. So how are you going to get yours to stand out? Right? You know, a lot of us, we grab our mobile device and we just scroll through Facebook, endlessly scrolling. We have no plan, we have no goal, and we have no comprehension of what's even on the screen. We're just scrolling, hoping something is going to be more entertaining than, unfortunately, the life we're dealing with at that very moment that we're on our phone. Here's the thing. If you're just writing or posting stuff on Facebook without taking into consideration that it has to actually get me to stop scrolling, it's just not going to get seen. You know, organic reach has gone down into the toilets because people are just not getting you to stop. Right? So we talk about email, we talk about Facebook Messenger. What about YouTube? You know, people will open up a YouTube video, and if there's an ad that comes up, if it doesn't stop them in a millisecond, actually, it's a 5-second countdown, I believe, because what it gives you. If it doesn't stop you in those 5 seconds, it's skip. That's it. It's as simple as that. Yeah, but what about just organic YouTube videos? If you don't say something at the beginning to get them to want to watch the rest, you've lost them. What about your presentations on stage, your keynote? If you don't open in a way that gets them to stop whatever they're doing, especially if it's after lunch, if you happen to be following lunch, and you're up on stage and you don't get them to stop what they're doing and refocus, re-energize on you, you've lost them. And that doesn't end there. We're just talking about the entrance. We're just talking about that break that gets them to refocus on you. We're not even talking about the entire message. We will later in our masterclass. We won't right now. Okay. Another thing that's really important is understanding your audience. Who are you talking to? right? If you have more than what audience you're targeting per message, you are leaving money on the table. The truth is, you need to be talking to exactly that one specific person, or they won't care. They just will not engage with your material the way you would like them to. So we're going to talk about the audience. We're going to talk about social media, how to handle negative reviews, how to post organically and for the most traction, how to prevent copycats from stealing all your material. And they are. As soon as you start making any kind of noise, you're going to notice every ad you run gets duplicated everywhere. We experience it all the time, and you're going to experience it as well. But I'm going to teach you how to work around that. There will always be copycatters, but you got to create faster than they can copy. And there's ways to mitigate some of that. Regardless, we're going to teach you all of that. We're going to teach you some of the offline marketing. Maybe you have an event in your local area, and you want to know, what can I do for my businesses or the businesses surrounding me? How can I teach them? How can I reach them? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to put together an event and market it so that people can flood in. We did an event in Sudbury, Ontario, Canada, my hometown, and what happened was Les was coming down to spend 2 weeks with my family at their camp and just kind of get to know my family and spend some time with my kids and the whole 9 yards. And while he was here, we thought, hey, we should do an event. Now, Sudbury is very small, 150,000 people, that's all there is in here. And we thought, well, we've got 11 days. Should we do it, should we not? And I told Les, we're gonna do it. And, give or take a day or two just to put together the website. In less than 11 days, we sold 250 tickets, we filled a little hall over here, and we had a fantastic event. Now, that is all because I was able to use my skills in the years of marketing that I did and apply them to very specific results I was trying to generate, right? A lot of people have good products, good keynotes, good personal skills, good message, add a lot of value, but they don't know how to get their message out. We want to help you get your message out. So here's what we're doing. It's going to be a 6-week crash course. It's going to be, again, I'll repeat the dates, February 12th, 19th, 26th, and then March 5th, 12th, and 19th. These are all Tuesdays. We'll confirm the time with you, probably looking at, give or take, 8:30 p.m., and this is Eastern time over here. They will be recorded, so I'll send them to you the next day. Should you miss it, no big deal. These are yours to keep. In these 6 weeks, we're going to teach you a ton of marketing material and make sure that you know what we're doing internally. Now, this is going to be only $127 for the 6-week crash course. Incredibly, well, I was going to say cheap. It's not cheap. It's incredibly affordable. The value of what you're going to get out of here is going to be the difference between living life on your terms or struggling paycheck to paycheck. Now, you might be asking, why only $127? And that's a fair question. Let me explain why. We have dozens of ambassador speakers that we are training internally to become powerhouse speakers. And one of the keys to our program, our ambassador program, is exactly what we're going to teach you now. It's the marketing. So this 6-week crash course is what I'm going to be teaching our own internal speakers. Did you hear that? The material I'm going to teach my own clients who paid well into the 6 figures to be a part of this ambassador program, I'm going to be teaching you for $127. Of course, you're going to be missing out on all the keynote mastery and all of that stuff and how to, create a message out of your mess and all that storytelling jazz that we teach our ambassador speakers. But you're going to be getting the same rock solid marketing content that these folks are getting for $127. Again, the more the merrier. We already have all of our speakers booked to be on this live call for these 6 weeks. And we decided while we're doing it, we might as well open the door to you, the public. So you've got, what is it? We are the first today, February the 1st when I'm recording this. So that leaves you with 12 days to think about it, realize there's a lot of potential within your life, within your business. You have endless upside. You just need to learn how to Convey what you're trying to convey in a way that creates conversation and creates conversion. Conversation without conversion is useless. A lot of folks out there are saying, hey, I have 3 million fans on Facebook, or I have 40,000 fans on Facebook. I'm the king of the world. But here's the thing. Those are vanity metrics. Have you ever tried to cash a check at the bank based on how many likes you have on Facebook? It doesn't work. You need to find a way to convert the conversations you're having on Facebook into dollars. Because dollars, money, real money, is how you pay your rent. It's how you pay your employees. It's how you pay your overhead. It's how you manage your business, and it's how you grow. So one more time, it's a 6-week marketing crash course. We're going to be going in full, intensive, deep dive into some of the best and most modern marketing practices used today. It's all going to be recorded live. We will be sending the recordings after every presentation. February 12th is the start. It's a Tuesday. We're looking at around 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. We will confirm the time with you. And it's only $127. Now you'll be able to sign up, and even if you're not able to make the live call, we'll still send you the recording. So if you're somewhere where the time zones, maybe it's 3 a.m. where you are, that's okay. You don't need to be on the live call. We will be sending the recording. I will tell you one thing. The beauty of being on the live call is you'll be able to interact with me. There'll be a chat box. You'll be able to ask questions, and we can answer them in a live format. So one last time, guys, February 12th, we're going to be starting a 6-week marketing intensive program covering the strategies, the tips, the tools that we use to build our empire, and how you can build your speaking empire or your business, whether it be retail or whatever it is, and take it to the next level so that you can start feeling the weight off your shoulders, the absolute joy and happiness of going to bed at night knowing that you're financially secure. Again, February 12th, we're starting 6 weeks. I'd love to see you there. I'd love to have you a part of this conversation. And I look forward to taking your business to the next level. That's it, guys. Sign up right below, and I look forward to seeing you on the live call.